Hello, everybody. Even though I don't think anybody's here at the moment. Maybe some people will get in here today. I don't know. Oh, my hair. So, hope everybody's having a good day, and welcome to Rick's Tech Pub on what is today? I keep forgetting. Looking to do it on my phone. Tuesday, September 16th. So, next Monday, I'm leaving until Wednesday afternoon. So, and I won't be getting back. Yeah, I don't know. I have to see what time it is when I get back on Wednesday. But I don't know. With my mom being the way she is, sometimes it can take us a while to get out the door. So I don't know. I'll figure that out as we go. Hello, Jeff. So the title of the show. What am I talking about with that? Plans for the winter. Well, probably just kind of doing stuff here at home. It's, Yeah, I won't be doing much with computers, and really, none of us here do much with computers during the winter. I mean, they don't go, they're not seasonal like I am, but um, believe me, even though I'm seasonal, I still work, or I was working enough to keep me busy, but uh, so I got plans to do this winter. Plan on catching up with, well, not catching up, but doing more with DaVinci and OBS, and trying to get that more. Okay. Trying to get some more projects in that. Trying to get some more projects done. Um, I was out today a little bit with Nate, not Nate. Well, that's the other guy's name, but um, Mike. Yeah, that's who it was. Um, really, people start doing a live stream, they start bugging me. Never fails. Um, got a bunch of calls in the last couple of days for a few offices that have computers that are getting dirty, and they were wondering if I had a way of getting the dust and dirt out of them. I said, "Yeah, I do. I got a CompuVac. I'll get that. I'll get those all cleaned out." And I did a few today. Um, I didn't do too much work. I mean, I just pretty much I plugged things in, kind of move the light stuff around. But as far as picking up computers, taking them outside or whatever, might get that. I wasn't going to. I really can't do any major lifting until after the first, ouch, of October. So well, I let them do all the work, and I got them outside, and then I just took my combi vac and blew them out. Boy, some of them were dusty. Whew. It's creating a dust cloud with a few of them. You know, it's funny. All those computers sitting there, some were more dusty than others. I mean, like some of them, like I said, I created a dust cloud, a real thick, big, huge dust cloud. I mean, it was just all over the place. Um, it was a little bit breezy out today, so the dust kind of went away from me. And then there's other computers that I dusted out, and I blew the dust out of them. There's hardly any dust that came out of them, and they've all haven't had any. None of them have had a good service in cleaning for I don't know 8 months. I don't know. Some getting more dusty than others. Uh, that took what was it? One, two, three, four. Then we had to hook them all back up, and that was kind of a pain in the butt. I let the guys do it. I just kind of sat there and kind of told them how to do things and what goes where. And they had to crawl under the desk, and I said, I ain't crawling under the desk. You get under there. I said, I can't do that. And so he did, but he didn't like really doing it all that much. I mean, he was always afraid of banging his. In fact, he did it once. He got up and he got up too quickly and banged his head on the keyboard tray. He's like, ouch. Yeah, I was gonna tell you, not quite yet. You're not. Don't come up so quick. He didn't listen, and ouch. Shouldn't laugh because I've done that plenty of times. Actually, I've done it to this desk. I've gotten underneath it and wasn't watching what I was doing. Came up too quick and banged put that thing right in the back of my head, and that kind of hurt. So, boy, there's just Jeff here today. I hope you're doing good, Jeff. I'm sure Ken is out doing something. Um, I don't know where William or anybody is, so I don't know. Views 4, current viewers 2. Yeah, that's me and Jeff. Chat rate 0. Nobody chatting today. Current viewers 2. Likes 1. Boy, YouTube, you are so far behind OBS. I'm really kind of getting tired of that. But I don't know. So I was out biking today. Um, for that computer job that I did this morning. I got a ride over there. And they said, well, you might as well not ride over there. We're going to the same place, so just hop a ride with us. I was like, okay. So I rode with them. Ouch. I'm gonna get this back to OBS. There, that's a little bit better. So I really don't have anything else. Not a lot to do. I mean, I got a few things I could probably do over the internet. Got a bunch of ordering stuff I gotta get done. And that I just got approved for today. But when I told her why I needed that stuff, why I needed it and what I needed it for, she agreed to it. So yeah, go ahead and get it. So got to order a bunch of lights and tail lights, headlights. For my bike and trailer, which one of these days I need to take a picture of that or do a live stream somewhere. I don't know if this phone can do a live stream. I really don't know if it's capable. I mean, it can do it. I just not really sure how well it'll do it. This phone is getting full. It keeps giving me that um, low on storage space. It's some things that my phone may stop working. I thought I took care of that. So I don't know what else is chewing up my storage space. Because I know a week or two I deleted a bunch of stuff and it's telling me I still got a bunch of stuff on it. So, and I'm looking into getting a new phone anyhow. I'm not going to keep this one. I've had this one for. New growing reports of people losing their jobs for what they're saying about. Really? Why are you doing that? See, this phone, it does that. It'll start a YouTube show all by itself. And I didn't even get close to the YouTube button. And the YouTube button's just like right there. I didn't even come close to hitting that. So I don't know why this thing has got a ghost in it or something. It does goofy things. and I don't know why. Um, so a lot of some other things I'm gonna want to try to do is getting in. Well, I don't know. I might. Depends if I really want to do it or not. But I don't know. I'm thinking about doing tips and tricks for computers. There's a few tricks and stuff that I've got up my sleeve. Most of the other technicians on YouTube would probably not approve of me doing this. And I might get a few nasty emails from them telling me, hey, you really shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be telling people. Really? 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 I know what they want. I wrote them a note, and I think in my Fairview for my injection shot that I'm got coming up on the 23rd, I hope they didn't really take that the way I think they did. Because I told them I'm still having a little bit of problems, laying on my stomach. I mean, I can, like I did this morning, but I can't do it for long. Especially if I kind of relax and put all my weight on the surgery area. It kind of gets a little sore, so I end up having to flip back over. Which I'm able to do that now a lot better instead of grabbing hold of the edge of the wall. And kind of it was, oh, was it painful getting out of bed for a couple of days. I had to grab the hold of the wall, kind of pull myself up, and then kind of just it was. Then I had to kind of twist, and then with my right arm push myself up so I'm sitting up. Then I'd have to kind of twist over again and kind of get out of bed. It was crazy to keep all the weight off the incision area. I couldn't put any strain on that. I'm not supposed to yet. Even though got my laundry done the other day. It's probably not. It wasn't that heavy. Maybe 8 pounds. But that's even something I'm not supposed to be doing. But there's no one around. I've knocked on Gary's door and knocked on my neighbor's door, and nobody was home. So I said, well, then if they're not here, well, then screw it. I'm just gonna take my duffel bag of clothes and get them downstairs. Took a cap full of a little bit of laundry soap down there. I didn't take the whole thing with me. That would have been too heavy. That I would have. I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, people in the elevator asked me, said, "Why do you just get a little bit of laundry soap?" And then I told her, "Well, I had hernia surgery on the 20th of August." She said, "Okay, never mind. I know why. You can't pick up your 1 gallon of laundry soap. That I'm not supposed to." Okay, she understood it then. Can't have any weight on my. I'm not supposed to really be carrying anything. Which is why when I went grocery shopping, I had the guy bag up my groceries, put them in the cart, and then my mom took my food from the grocery cart into her car. I'm again I'm not supposed to be lifting anything really over half a pound. Not even that. And I'm probably gonna wait a while. I know they said the first, but I'll probably go another 6, 7 days beyond that. Just want to make sure this is healed up pretty good before I try moving my bike trailer, which is a good 60 some pounds. Um, and the way they've got those bikes down there, I think I'm just gonna have to. I don't know. All the bikes, there's 2 3 wheelers in front of it. There's another bike trailer and then a bike trailer behind that one. So there's 2 or 3 bike trailers, and then the 3 wheeler sitting kind of in front of my bike, and then kind of pointing towards the front wheels, pointing towards my bike trailer. So I don't know. I might have to find a different place to park that. 'Cause I know when I'm going to need it, I'm not going to be able to get to it because everybody's piling their stuff in front of mine. So But I've got lights for it. Got two headlights coming and four tail lights. You know, the red lights that can be steady. What I plan on doing is having the two bottom lights on steady, and then I have the two top lights, the two top tail lights. They'll be strobing because they'll do this. There's like one, two, three, four, five strobe lights in there in one light, and they'll go from left to right, and the one on the left will go left to right. So they'll just kind of do this. The lights they'll flash back and forth, and then flash two or three times. So that's so that people can see me at night. And I do plan on night. Hey, Darren, I do plan on using that trailer at night, but I just can't right now. It's a black trailer, you know, in a dark night. They ain't gonna see me in time. So I've got to somehow get it so that people can see me. I mean, a day like today, nice and sunny and 80 some degrees, it won't matter so much. But once it starts getting dark, and if I start doing transports at night, which I might, you know, there's a I'm not just limiting myself to morning and afternoon. There's going to be a few night trips in there. I could go all the way up as far as Nisswa, maybe Pequot. In fact, that's probably what I'll do. But I'll have to get a good GPS on my phone because in Pequot they tell me where to go to this address. I'm like, I'm not going to know where that's at. Businesses, yes, I can get to businesses, but I won't do residential for Brainerd or Nisswa or Pequot or wherever. I just don't want to do that. So, so just I'm still trying to figure out pricing. Um, there's really nobody else around here that does this, so I'm trying to figure out how to price my price per price per mileage. You know, riding. I know in a car it's different. I don't even know if I can legally do that. If I can tell them I'm going to charge them so many dollars for so many miles. I don't know if I can do that. I'm sure I can, but I'm sure there's going to be probably some legal paperwork involved in that. Um, the cities around here, the city of Brainerd is kind of strict on that, even for self-employed people, one-man bands, like me. Although I'm not really one man anymore. I've got two other two other people that you know at times they'll work for me. Um, you know, especially when I was down with getting the surgery done, I had those two out getting other stuff done. You know, I got enough money I can live on. That, I could take a week or two break, and you know, really, I don't need to be doing this computer stuff or courier stuff. I've got enough money of my own that I can live off comfortably. Um, the thing with me is I just don't like being bored. I don't just like sitting. So instead of doing that, I'm out in the community helping whoever I can help with either computers or transporting things from one end of town to the other, usually from Brainerd all the way into Baxter. But next spring, I will include Nisswa, which is 13 miles away, and then Pequot, which is 28 miles. I'm saying that wrong. It's not 28 miles. I forgot. Let's see, how would I word that? Distance from BR to PEQ. I'm spelling that wrong. Goodness. UOT. Let's see. From Brainerd to Pequot. 29 miles. I was off by a mile. I said 28. It's 29 miles. Which is not bad. I mean, if you're going Minnesota Highway 371. I'm on the bike trails, so that bike trail. On the bike trail. See what it says then. 29, it's same mileage. 29 miles. Via Minnesota 371 North. Is there a bike trail from Brainerd to Bemidji? Yes, there is. It's the longest paved trail in Minnesota. That ought to be interesting because Paul Bunyan State Trail. Yeah, that's the trail that I'm on. The Paul Bunyan State Trail. It is now 115 and all paved from Brainerd to Bemidji. And it is the longest continuously paved trail in our state trail system. Yeah, I kind of figured that. So, yeah, that's the Paul Bunyan State Trail. I always allow Google to access my location. I always block that. I know I probably shouldn't, but I don't want Google knowing my location or the closest whereabouts. What is the hardest trail in the United States? 6 toughest trails in the United States. Some people like to amble along to the bike path, perhaps by Serene Lake, maybe stopping for an ice cream or a casual afternoon. The top 6 for the hardest trails in the United States is the Colorado Trail, Mount Hanalika, Mount Washington Hill Climb, Dirty Kansas 200, Leadville Trail, MTS 100, and then SM 100, whatever the that is. So yeah, we go from let's do another one. Let's go from Brenner to yeah, there goes another train coming through. It's a Santa Fe too. I can tell by the sound of the horn. BEM IDJI. No, that's not right. No. Although that's my car. It says 1 hour and 52 minutes. 101 miles. And I put it on the that this can't be 101 miles from Brainerd to Bemidji. That doesn't sound right to me. Hey, that car was noisy. I'll get back to chat here in a second if anybody said anything. I'm just kind of looking over the 1 hour and 52 minutes. That just doesn't make it. Well, actually, it does because it was about 2 hours for um, my dad and I went up there many, many years ago. I think I can't remember how long ago that was. 5 years ago? No, 6, 7 years ago. I can't remember. But I don't know. One of these crazy days. Um, I don't know. I just might get on the bike trail, see how far north I want to go. I'll go beyond Pine River, go beyond Bacchus, beyond Hackensack, and I'll just keep going. Then the problem with that is I'm going to get dog tired, so I think what I'm probably going to want to do is probably get a hotel room in Pine River. Check in, and then I'll tell them I'm actually going to head from here up to. I don't know. I don't know if I'll stop at Hackensack or if I'll just keep going. I don't know. That depends on how my health is doing. So I'll be, what, 57, 58 by then? I think I'll be 50, yeah, 57. I don't know if I'm being too ambitious of wanting to do that, although I'll attempt it. I know I'll make it to Pine River. That's a piece of cake. That's 30 miles. One way from here up to Pine River is 30 miles. Um, that's a piece of cake for me. That's a cake. That's a walk in the park. Um, but to go all the way up to halfways up to Bemidji in one day, I don't know about that. That might be a little much. Although if I'm gonna stop back in Pine River and stay overnight in a hotel, that I could probably do. Cause I'll be so doggone tired. I'll have to make sure I have a couple of alarm clocks with me because they'll probably want me out of there the next day at probably 11 or noon, 11 o'clock or noon. I don't know when their checkout time is, but um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm. Depends on if the smoke is real. See, what stopped me this year is the smoke from the from the Canada wildfires or wherever those fires were coming from. I heard there's several other states that are on fire. Um, that latest I've heard was just Canada. But somebody this earlier this summer was telling me there was some other state that was on fire. State forest or whatever in that state, someone had set fire to it. And that's what one of our days about a month or two ago was actually coming from was that I can't remember where it was from, but we were getting the smoke from that fire. Um, and even nowadays, even like yesterday or the day before, it was a little bit hazy out there, and it wasn't because of fog. I mean, I think last Monday morning, Robert said it was foggy, but I think all the other times what we're seeing is just a light layer of haze of smoke in the air. So that's what stopped me this year. That and all the doctor's appointments, my hernia surgery. That kind of stopped me from doing what I wanted to do. Hey, Long Dog. Oh, where am I going here? Hey, Cam. Oh, you also live in Minnesota. Well, that's good to know. I'm finally getting people from Minnesota. I'd like to talk to more people from Minnesota. That'd be kind of neat, and people from out of the country. Well, welcome in, Cam. Glad to see you. Oh, it's not an electric. I don't have an electric bike. No, 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 no. No, I don't do electric bikes. At least not yet. Maybe when I'm 65, maybe 68, when my legs just don't feel like pedaling anymore, I might get an electric bike, but not right now. I'm still wanting to get my exercise, and no, I don't have an electric bike. Those things are expensive. If you look at the price of electric bikes, oh my god. No, thank you. You guys have, but yes, we do have bike trails. So I was just talking about that. We have a bike trail that actually starts here in Brainerd, and I don't know how much of a little bit that I was talking about, but all the way up to Bemidji. It's 101 miles. Takes an hour and 52 minutes by car. That'd probably take a good 5.5 hours by bike. Unless I do what I normally do. Once I start biking, I don't stop. Then I can probably do it in, I don't know, cut a half hour off of that. But I'm not that crazy and I'm not that stupid, so I'm going to take my normal breaks like I do. And I usually stop in Pequot for a couple of minutes. Mother Nature is usually calling me quite desperately at that point. So I'll stop at the rest area up there. There's a rest area. Really, people? There's a rest area where you can stop and take care of things. Like Mother Nature, gotta go pee or whatever. They used to have in Pequot a gas station just behind that, but last time I was up there last year, I noticed that gas station was closed. So I don't know. But yeah, if I were to go all the way up to Bemidji, like I was just saying, I would probably stop in Pine River overnight, which is, by the way, the town I used to live in from 1977 till 1984. Or is it 1978 to 84? I can't remember. I'd have to ask my parents. They know the date and when they were living there long before I was adopted, before they adopted me. We were living in town for a while. Um, okay, everybody's trying to get a hold of me today. I don't know why. Uh, I was adopted. And I can't remember what year that was that I got taken from the foster homes up to Pine River where they lived. 76, 77, maybe 70. No, I think it was 70. I can't remember. I'd have to ask my dad or my mom because they'd have. Well, my dad's probably not going to remember. He's trying to forget that whole part of his life. Wasn't really good for him. Not good times. He was the high school principal, and so yeah, things kind of went screwy with him. Hey, MJ. Oh, what's up with me today? Not much. It's a warm day today. I think we're approaching fall. The leaves are starting to turn colors, but it is 83 degrees up here today, so it is warm. At least last I checked, it was 83 degrees. Let me check to see what it is now. I can't remember. I'm trying to ignore YouTube Studio because it is so. I can't swear, but I'll say it's so flipping behind that I don't pay attention to it anymore. I just use it to get the live stream going, and I do everything else in OBS. So, or I could open a new tab, but it would told me that 86 degrees in Brainerd today. The real feel is 90. Why is it so warm this time of year? It's supposed to be in the 70s, low 70s. No, we're 86 degrees, almost 90 degrees. It's too warm for this time of year, although I don't mind the warm weather. My neighbor down the hall from me, he hates this time of year. He likes it when it's in the 50s and 60s. He said that's all the higher we should get. It's like 55, 56. That's his comfort point. It's like, I'm wearing jeans and probably Yeah, I get cold when it's below 75 degrees. I like the hotter weather. But Gary, oh no, no, I mean, him and I have friendly gotten into arguments about what our what our weather should be here in Minnesota. He said it should be nice and cool all summer, and no, you gotta have some heat in there. He's like, no, 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 we don't do that. I said, yeah, we do. If you don't like it, move to Alaska. He got a little bit pissy at me, and he wouldn't talk to me for a few days after that. But yeah, you're still on the hundreds. Chickamauga Beach or Chickanaw. Highway 371. That's the main highway that goes from Brainerd all the way up to Bemidji. 371 North. Look it up on the internet. I know you're capable of doing that, Long Dog. Look up the highway of 371 between Brainerd and Nisswa, or Brainerd and Pequot, or Brainerd and Jenkins, or I don't know how else you want to word it. But it used to be until the last 3 years. Now it's a divided highway. It used to be just 2 lanes, and just oh my god, that was back in the 80s. It used to be a 2-lane road. Um, but they've turned it now into a divided highway. So, lake alongside Pine River. Yeah, there's a lake in Pine River. It's where the dam used to be, and they've kind of since taken that out. And it used to be the swimming beach for me and my sister when we lived up there. We'd go up to the dam to go swimming. Chickanaw Beach. I don't know where you're getting that name from. I don't. You'd have to show me what you're talking about, Long Dong, because Chickanaw. There's Chickamaw Beach with an M, but Chickanaw. No, something's not sounding right there because I lived in Pine Bluff. Things have changed since I've lived up there, but there's Chickamaw Beach Road, and I have video of that. I never did publish that bike ride that I took up north. Um, because I biked out to our old farmhouse in Pine River. It was not last year, the year before. Or no, it was, yeah, last year, summer of 2023. 24 actually. Yeah, it was last year. I didn't do it this year because, like I said, the smoke stopped me. But I know last year I did, and I recorded most of it. But I'll make another video of that one of these fine days, which I probably won't do this year. I mean, I could, but Chickanaw Beach. That's confusing me. You're still in the hundreds, MJ. Yeah, that's too warm. Although you could live in Arizona, and you live in Arizona was probably 115 degrees today. Funny spelling, funny name. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it could have something to do with that, Long Dog, but I don't know. Yeah, it hasn't been a bad summer here either, MJ. It's just been smoky because we've been dealing with a Canadian wildfires. So there's many of days this summer when they're saying our air was actually unhealthy. So on days when I was saying unhealthy, I didn't go outside. It hasn't been that bad in the last couple of years. It usually say it'd be in the fair level or moderate, but for it to say unhealthy, it's never said that until this year, till this summer. And I saw it 3 times on 3 different occasions. It said the air quality is very unhealthy. Well, I'd shut my windows, shut off the air conditioner, and just wait it out for a few days. Which it went 4 days with that unhealthy. Um, Unhealthy air advisory came out twice. Um, so it was smoke particles. So I didn't feel like wanting to breathe in smoke particles, so I just stayed inside for many days this summer. I was inside more than I'd like to be this summer. Um, but with everything going on health wise and with the smoke, I've usually been right here most of the time, which sucked. There's days when I wish I could be outside doing things and doing whatever, but no, I couldn't do that. So I don't know. I'm gonna build up a whole bunch of projects, and one of the things I do also plan on doing is Arizona is pretty unbearable, but it's been pretty cool. I don't know, been pretty cool in Arizona. I guess so. I don't know. One of the projects I plan on doing, and I don't know if I'm gonna get into sales of it or I build them and let somebody else do the sales of it. Is building trailers for bikes. I'd have to have the parts custom made because I think I'm gonna do it out of round tubing. That seems to be the better option for me to go. And I've got pretty much kind of somewhat have a design in my head. I'll have to draw it out on paper. Because drawing it out on a computer is just that's not gonna work. People said, "Why don't you just get a program and build a trailer on your computer?" It's like, yeah, that probably won't work well. I mean, I'm sure I could if I get used to it, but I don't know. I might see if I can do it on the computer somehow and kind of get a rough draft of kind of what I'm. They're gonna be like my Beaver. Oh, I tripped over my words that time. It is going to be. I'll show you guys. It's gonna be like my Vivo. This the Vivor trailer, however you say that. That's backwards. You guys can't probably read that, but it's VEVOR. Um, bicycle cargo trailer, and I've got 2 of them, and I bolted them together. So that is looking up this yesterday because I was trying to figure out how long it is, and I need to get some signs made for the trailer. I mean, I could easily carry 200 pounds if I wanted to. Because one trailer can carry up to 160 pounds. Well, it doesn't say up to. I think it's just the max limit is 160 pounds. But I can go up to 160 pounds. Yeah, max load 160 pounds, so it doesn't say up to. It says highest you can go is 160 pounds. So if I wanted to, if I had something that was 190 some pounds, I could put it on that trailer and I can carry it. And if it's tall, I've got ideas for that. I can't find them. I don't know where they are, but I've got huge ratchet straps, so I can go and flip. Like if I have like 6 or 7 boxes, big boxes I got to carry with stuff in it. Um, See, I can use that trailer. I can call it a trailer, even though it's 2 trailers in one. So I just bolted one to the other. um, yeah, if I wanted to, I could. Yeah, actually, no, I couldn't. So that wouldn't work. See, I had one shipment I did once already. That was before my surgery. A couple days before my surgery, actually, and it's out where Pomida used to be, a northeast side of town. And they called and they said they had 4 big boxes, a total weight of 196.8 pounds. And they said if I was able to carry that or transport that, I said, "Oh yeah, I can." So, so I went over there and got that. Thank God I brought my straps with me because the guy asked me. He said, "Well, if you don't have straps, we got a few you can borrow." I said, "No, no, no. I've got a few. I need to get 2 more actually, in case one breaks. These are the cheap Dollar General straps. They're not straps. They're ratchet straps. You pull the handle and you do it, and it makes it tighter. And um, I've got 2 of them, and I used 2 of them that day. That day I used both of them. Then I had bungee cords, so I went from the front to the back with the bungee cords, and on the sides I used the ratchet straps, just so that it wouldn't do this too much. Because it was quite tall. I mean, it was way up to here. I mean, up to here, at this level, it doesn't seem that tall. But you're on a small trailer that hovers about that much above the ground. It was taller than I thought it would be. I thought they were talking, small, boxes that were maybe 5, 6 inches deep. No, these boxes were almost a foot tall. And I didn't think that I put the 2 upright in the first tray and the 2 in the back. Then I took the other 2 and I laid them sideways on top of the 2 that were on it already. And I just strapped everything in, bungee corded, and went off to Baxter. I almost didn't get paid for them. It's the one thing I do kind of require because I don't want Social Security to find out about it. I mean, they could, but the way they've been working with me lately or in years past, is you can make a couple extra dollars, we're going to throw you into overpayment. And once you get into overpayment, that takes forever. The last time I got into one, it took my attorney to get me out of it. I actually had to call him, said Social Security is giving me a rough time about overpayments that I've already paid. They said I never paid it. It only took him twice to show up there. Overpayments wiped. He just kind of looked at him and said, "I don't see the reason for this to you. He's already paid that overpayment, and now you're telling me he's got another one? Ah, it ain't gonna work." The guy whose name was Jeff at Social Security kind of got pissed, but uh, I mean, just the way he rolled his eyes up at Jim when Jim said he had no idea what's going on, doesn't know what he's doing, he's just there to ask general questions. The first question Jim asked him. Oh, that was funny. I've never seen Jeff. I've seen Jeff, I've talked to him before, but he stayed quiet, but he was looking down and he just rolled his eyes up at Jim, and he didn't say anything. But when Jim at first said he was not knowing what he was doing, not knowing sure what was going on, and he threw him the first question, Jeff didn't like that. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to get around. I gotta probably talk to Social Security and kind of make sure I'm still in the clear, because I'm not gonna get caught in overpayments. That was Wolf bro, don't say anything wild. Last year, Prince of V4. It's still in the box. Yeah, Vivor is a good company. I've seen plenty. I know they've got a whole bunch of equipment, not just bike trailers. I mean, things like Long Dog said, they've got paint sprayers or whatever. They've got a long shift over my words again. They have a laundry list of things that they sell, not just bike trailers. And the other thing I need to do is I need to get those two other tires, rims, 15-inch. I need to get those over to the bike shop, and I need to get the axles replaced. Well, they're not axles. I mean, the axles are only about maybe that long. They're not too long, but they're bent. They're a little bit twisted because you ride the bike and this wheel's doing this. Like, what the Sam? So I went across the bridge and I looked back because I could feel the trailer kind of doing this. I was like, what in the world? And I looked back and the wheel's just kind of doing this going down the road. Like, yeah, that axle's bent. I looked at one on the left side and it's kind of sitting off like this and just kind of ticking over. It's like, okay, I've got two bent axles, probably bent rims. Might just be cheaper to replace them. But then it depends on how much they're going to charge me for doing that. I hope not much. But um, we're at 252 already. Wow. Good ish. Airless sprayer. Yeah, those are pretty good. To pay my house. Well, it's still in the box, so I guess you never used it. Sprint pair to pay my house. I think you're trying to say paint your house? Or maybe not. I'm not quite following you on that. So, Cam, whereabouts do you live in Minnesota? Down south or you live up north? If Cam's even here anymore. There's no bike trails really going south of Brainerd, but there's that one trail that goes from Brainerd all the way up to Bemidji. There is really none going south. Because I'd like to actually get down to Little Falls, but there's no bike trail going to Little Falls. And I'm not riding on the paint. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying, Long Dog. Uh, they thought a couple years ago that they were going to make a state trail going to Little Falls, and then maybe down further south. I'd like to see one go kind of from Little Falls down to St. Cloud. So if I can get me and my bike transported down to Little Falls, and then get on the bike trail, then ride the bike trail all the way to well, actually Sauk Rapids area. That'd be nice, but they never did it. It was thought of. They never did it, which is kind of sad. It'd be kind of nice if they would have done that, but they didn't. So did Cam leave? Yeah, I think He did, or she. I'm not sure. Cam. I think he left. Yep. Yeah, that's the way it should be done with biking, long dog. Well, yeah. Um, it's good exercise biking. It's then in the end every once in a while when I go biking, I bring my if I can find it, I can't right now, but I usually bring my GoPro with, and I attach that to my handlebars. And whenever I feel like recording a section of the trail, I just hit record and I keep on going. So yeah, I like biking. It's good exercise. And you know, the doctors have told me over and over and over that all these years of biking is very good for my heart. Has been very good for my heart, my lungs. Should do even be doing better now, being that I quit smoking over 2 years ago. So yeah, not good to be smoking, and I didn't really want to do that anymore. I mean, the price of it was starting to get ridiculously expensive. Had they not gone up so bad in price, I mean, a pack of Marlboros up here in Minnesota will cost you almost $11 just for one pack of Marlboros. $11. No. And I usually get my Liggets. This is what I used to smoke, and those were getting close to $8.50. Yeah, they weren't the 721 they used to be, which I was okay with. Then they went up to 804 and then 821. And they started approaching the upper side of $9. I just said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. So I just stopped buying cigarettes. And just recently, I've stopped drinking Mountain Dew and Pepsi. I don't drink soft drinks either. Carbonation does a number to your teeth. That's what my dentist keeps telling me. He said, you've got to stop doing that. Or one of these days you come to your appointment and it's going to snap every single tooth out of your mouth because they're all going to be rotted. No, you won't. And he said, then stop drinking the Mountain Dew. Like, oh, that was tough. That was tough to do. Quitting smoking was easier for me than just stopping the Mountain Dew. That Mountain Dew is what kept me going every day, and now I'm going every day. Now it's just that I feel like I'm tired. We got a few minutes here left here, guys. If you got anything else you want to say, now's this the time to say it. If you got any questions, you got about 2 minutes. I'll go to about a minute after, but yeah, we've got bike lanes here in Brainerd. Although the general traffic doesn't like us using the bike lanes, especially on 4th Street. There's a bike lane, and the drivers always complain that when you're in the bike lane, and then you get up to the end of the street right across from the courthouse. I usually take a right, or sometimes I take a left, but the people in cars just don't like it being there because then they say the bikers actually block us off from being able to turn. Really, folks? Really? Can't leave me alone for 5 minutes. Oh yeah, and there's that one bike lane. We have several bike lanes, but most people use the sidewalk because the sidewalk you're safer on the sidewalk. Me, I'm just kind of gutsy. If I want to be on the street, I usually ride on the streets because I ride so fast. I can ride up to 18 miles an hour. Um, Doing that on a sidewalk, even though on the Laurel Street sidewalk, which is almost 4 blocks long, if the sidewalk's clear, nobody walking on it, I'll get going pretty quick. But most of the time, like around noon, 12:30, 1 o'clock, I usually don't because Ouch. Still can't give out a full sneeze yet. That one hurt. Um, yeah, I can get going on that bike pretty good. Pretty good. A couple years ago, there was a guy in his car, and I was just hauling ass down that sidewalk. He pulled up on me on the other side of the street. He caught up to me, and he rolled down his window, and he said, "Do you realize you're doing about 22 miles an hour?" I looked down at my computer, and I said, "Yep." He just laughed, and he kept going ahead. He thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, I knew I was doing about 22 miles an hour, but I quickly dropped off from that. I went from 22 right down to about 14 miles an hour. 14 to about 16 is my cruising speed, which is still pretty doggone fast when most people they hover around 3 or 4 miles an hour. They don't go that fast. And on the state trail, if people are doing like 4 or 5 miles an hour, and I come up to them, doing 21, 22 miles an hour, and just fly right past them. I need to get. That's the other thing I need to find is I need to get a horn for that thing because there's been so many instances. Well, I use my horn as my brakes. I just kind of hit the brakes lightly, and they're disc brakes, so they give out that loud squeal noise. It gets their attention. I'd rather have a horn, a push button horn, and get the brakes fixed, which I'm gonna do one of these days. I'm gonna fix those brakes. They call it CB links 20 miles. Hmm. Hmm. Goes mostly unused. Nothing much on mine, mind. They build a very expensive bike trail here in the desert. No one's going to really use it. Too hot out there. Yeah, see that's and I know Arizona, well, they could probably use that trail during the winter months because it's not too hot in February and January. Or January and February. I said that backwards. I'm sure there's a few people that get on the bike trail around the colder months of the season, but yeah, during the summer months, I'm pretty sure that trail doesn't get used at all in Arizona. Too flippin' hot. Yeah, our trail is called the Paul Bunyan State Trail. And if any of you don't know about the Paul Bunyan's story, well, maybe one of these days I'll try to explain that to you. There is a story behind it. Actually, what the state trail is, they call it the Paul Bunyan Trail, and I'm not sure why. That the state trail is actually the old railroad bed. Because we used to have trains to go north and south, and they took those. They quit going from north to south, so they took out all the rails to the trail. They removed everything, and then that next year they took the whole thing and they paved. Oh, it didn't used to go all the way up to Bemidji. I think it went up to as far as I can't remember it, but I think it was about 10 miles short of Bemidji. Now they've paved it all the way up to Bemidji. Is the one article I just read a little while ago says now paved up to Bemidji. It never used to be. That's why I'm kind of excited that maybe this year I'll go up there and see what it's like. But all right, guys, it is 3:04. I think I've said enough. I think I'm gonna call it quits. I think you guys have heard enough from me today. So I want to thank everybody for being here. It's been fun. Been fun chatting with people, and answering the questions you guys got, or just general chit chat. Uh, so the schedule as it is for now. Because I plan on doing a live stream up until actually till Sunday. So I'll do the rest of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, skip Saturday, do one on Sunday, and that's it for 2 days. I'll come back Wednesday if I get back soon enough. I'll do a live stream on Wednesday. But until then, meaning tomorrow, I hope each and every one of you have a great day, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Catch you all later. See you later, Lawn Dog, and everybody else, MJ. You have a good one. Bye for now.